sir, at the beginning, how should I know what is important? It is normal to be anxious, but you have to beat that anxiety. You have to keep it to a certain level. They are to be judged by previous year questions, by looking at the trend of the question papers, which topic an examiner or the examiners are focusing.
Hello and welcome back to Med Indian. We are in conversation with Dr. Lochan Gejji, and in this video, he discusses about using Marrow, GTs, revisions, and much more. So let's dive right into it.
So your main source of preparation was from Marrow, and because it's like a online platform, like you're expected to make your own schedule, and like since there's no compulsion, how did you make sure that you stick to your schedule, and how did you decide the time frame? Like you have to finish these subjects in this much time or before this exam. How was your time? Like how did you allot time for each subject?
I think for NEET PG, clinical or final year subjects are more important because they form the bulk of the questions. But the thing where INICT is different is it focuses more on preclinical subjects and second year paraclinical subjects more. It goes to the depth of it. So somewhere preparation for INICT and NEET PG changes because of their question paper things, and because DIPMER is also involved in setting the paper. So it takes into account recent updates more. So INICT is a bit different ball game than NEET PG. But many of us focus on NEET PG because it is because we have a much greater chance to get a seat there. So I'll tell according to NEET PG. According to NEET PG, we should focus more on final year subjects by giving them more time, by completing them and revising them as much as possible. But again, it comes to the thing where many people see volatile subjects are subjective to all of us. Some people might be feeling biochem is volatile. Some people might feel opthal is volatile. Like it depends on it is subjective. So I think whatever volatile subject is there, we should identify it and we should revise it more number of times than the normal conceptual subjects like medicine, surgery, OBG, physio, patho, which are more conceptual in their origin at least. So I think conceptual subjects can be revised a bit less. Not like I'm not telling you you don't need to revise it, but if you are planning to revise at least 4 or 5 times, you can revise volatile subjects like biochem for 5 times, and you can revise medicine for 4 times, because the content of medicine is also very much. You'll need a lot of time to revise it. But opthal you can finish in 2 or 3 days easily if you have completed one thing. And going about the preparation, like how to complete your subjects, everyone knows that we have to put around 10 to 15 days for majors, and the big subjects like medicine, surgery, OBG, patho, pharmac, and micro, which have a very lot of content. We need time to complete them. So everyone will take 10 to 15 days just to finish their portion. And the thing about their revision is, again, it will take a week for each subject. So you have to plan in such a way that you should have at least 3 or 4 months for revision. You should finish your portion as fast as possible, so that I tell this because from my experience, because NEET PG 21, I had secured a 6,000 rank. Till that time, I hadn't revised a single subject. I hadn't even completed my portion. And like I completed my portion till INICT November, I completed my portion till October. So at least I could revise my volatile subject. Like biochem, I read it in last 5 days or 6 days before INICT. So for this, like you can take this as an example that the number of revisions you do, then that much your rank will improve. So I think you should focus on revision and complete your subjects as fast as possible. And I would also like to add that we should focus on question solving a bit more. I'm not telling that you should start doing GTs every weekly even though your portion is not complete. I get it. I understand that. Even I had the same anxiety of attempting or giving the GT. Even I had the same questions that, what, even if my portion is not complete, what is the point of giving a GT? Yeah, I get it, but you should know where you stand, even at the beginning of the preparation. So, according to me, you should give a GT at the beginning of your preparation. See what your weak subjects are. Many of us, we don't even know we are good at some subjects. We remember most of our concepts. Like I was good with patho from the beginning, and patho and medicine from the beginning. So I focused on them less while completing the portion. While I was weak in biochem, so I focused more on it during completion, and I read biochem in detail, so I could at least get whatever conceptual thing was it correct. But you will get to know only when you give a GT that biochem is weak or some or etc. subject is weak. That's why GT helps you. Then afterwards, once you start revising, you can give it every 15 days. And when your exam is near, when it is around 2 months before the exam, for that last 1 month, you can for the last 1 month, I think you can avoid GTs because it will decrease your confidence if you get a low rank. But the second last month, a month before, you can give GTs weekly, so that you can catch your weak subjects before you enter the final revision. You can correct your mistakes before you enter the final revision. So if I go according chronologically, at the beginning, give monthly GTs. Then once you go into first or second revision, give GTs every 15 days. In your second or third revision, like 2 months before the exam, for that 1 month, give weekly GTs. And the last month, if you want to give one or two GTs, it's fine. Or else it's okay. You will be knowing which whatever subjects you need to revise, and you need time to revise for that 1 month. You don't need to waste your time giving a GT and then reviewing it and like drowning in the anxiety that you got a bad rank, or drowning in overconfidence that you got a good rank. So last 1 month, don't focus on GTs, as I feel. You should focus on revision. So at
Uh,
least, according to me, at least keep 4 or 5 revisions for your exam. If you are not a person who focuses more on revision, if you can get things right, if you can grasp things by just reading once or twice, it's okay. You are good with 2 or 3 revisions. It is subjective.
how do you go about reviewing your GTs? Because many people feel that it takes a lot of their time. So should they do it on the same day that they're giving the GT, or should they space it out for the whole week? And should they read all the explanation, like everything that is given, or only important things? Or what was your review? How did you review your GTs?
At the beginning, when as like as you as you guys know, so I for my first GT score was out of uh, I think 200 questions, I got only 60 or 70 correct. So even if I was started reviewing my GT, it would take me around 4 to 5 hours just to review the wrong questions. But I think it is important because you have to mark those wrong concepts. Because at the time of giving exam, you are actively recalling that thing. You are actively recollecting that concept, and you are solving a question by using some understanding in your mind. If you are getting that answer wrong, that means that concept is wrong in your mind. So I think reviewing becomes very important at the early part of preparation. You need to review GTs in detail when you're starting your preparation, or when you are in the first 3 months of your preparation. I used to review all the wrong questions that we have to do. About the correct questions, or the questions which I have skipped and wrong questions, we have to review in every GT. But the questions which I've got right only at the beginning of the GTs, like at the beginning of the preparation for the first 1 or 2 months, you can review them. After that, only reviewing wrong questions or skipped question is fine.
Mm.
And at the end of the preparation, only the questions which were like totally wrong, which were a blunder,
Mm.
or which you have got, which were not a silly mistake. Because once you get to know a silly mistake, you will get that thing right the next time. But the things which were not a silly mistake, which were unknown to you, only review those things. And only at the beginning of your preparation, look at explanation in detail, write down it. But at the end, after revision, you'll get to know that all things are not necessary. Each and every word of the explanation is not necessary. You just need to know that, okay, for this question, this is the answer, and this is the concept behind it. So if you know that thing, it is fine. You don't need to know the whole explanation why they have thing. And never focus on this controversial questions.
Mm.
They are not going to, they are controversial because they are controversial to everyone. Most of them are getting it wrong,
Mm.
because it is controversial for a reason, because most of them are getting it wrong, or most of them are getting it right by luck. So leave it more. Examiners will not will always try to avoid controversial things. So don't focus on it. If some controversial question comes also, it will be like very less part of the exam. It will be one or two questions in the exam. So don't focus much on it. You will be having the rest 198 questions in your hand. So you should focus on that. Don't focus on controversial aspects during your preparation. And the GT reviewing is important, but how to review a GT, you should know that. At the beginning, review in detail. Not like, I'm not telling you to read each and every word of the explanation, but at least read the explanation so that you can get the concept right. If you know the concept, you just know that okay, you did this wrong in it, then it's fine. You don't need to read the whole thing. And at the end of the preparation, just look at the blunders which are made, not the silly mistakes. You can correct the silly mistakes the next time. Don't review them in detail. Just focus on the blunders at the end of the preparation. And for the last 1 month, don't give GTs, because you'll again feel anxiety or overconfidence depending on your score.
One common doubt that most people ask if they're using Marrow is like the syllabus or the content is vast. So did you see all the videos that were there, and did you solve all the question bank modules, or did you stick to certain videos and some questions only, like the high yield ones?
And the thing about Marrow is, it is very vast. To be honest, it is very vast. Um, Even if someone tries to complete it, it will take like a year or so, I think, to complete it. To be honest, I'm telling this because I have faced it. I am being honest because it is vast and you can't complete the whole thing. So we have to focus on important topics and complete videos of only those important topics. And about QBank modules, not every module is important. See, I have not solved the whole thing. I have not solved all the QBank modules. So, with my experience, I'm telling you, examiners are going to ask the same questions again, even though the question is simple. They will be asking it again because it is important. They will be asking the same TB drug and its same its side effect again and again because it is important clinical. So I don't want like you guys to get the wrong impression that even though I have chosen Marrow, that I have not completed every QBank module. I have completed 80% of it, but I have tried to focus on only important aspects, like important topics in those QBank modules. And many of my juniors ask me what are those important topics. I tell them you can't just ask important topics to a guy, because I think they are to be judged by previous year questions, by looking at the trend of the question papers, which topic an examiner or the examiners are focusing on. So no one knows like exactly what an important topic is. You have to solve previous year questions and get to know them, and like as you go on revising, you'll get to know what examiners are asking, what in the GTs which topic is focused more. So as you go on reading, I'll tell them by your experience, you'll get to know what important topic is. So you have to focus on them only. You have to do those Q banks only. And another doubt is like my juniors ask is, sir, at the beginning, how should I know what is important? So I think some like institutes put up some topics just before the exams to revise. These are important. You can start with those important topics at the beginning of your preparation. Like example, Bhatia puts up an Instagram post for micro or for medicine. These topics are important. So you can mark them and you can solve and you can watch those videos and you can um, do those QBank modules, and then you can go on the untouched things if you want. While revising, you'll get to know whether it is important or no. If you are while starting, if you want to know what is important, you can go through those Instagram posts, or you can even search in Google what is important. Or many coaching institutes or resources have something like schema or intern mode or something like that. So every coaching institute has some or the other thing to guide us, which is important. So you can go through that and complete important things first and complete important modules first. And most underrated thing about preparation is previous year questions. Like I think we should focus more on previous year questions. And many of our my juniors also ask when to start previous year questions. I think after you have done your first or second revision, preferably, you should start doing them at least 2 or 3 months before the exam, because then you will get to know which pattern the exam is going to happen. Like if you are solving INICET previous year questions, you will get to know which topic the examiner is focusing. So that topic you can mark and you can read that topic only in the last 1 month of the exam. If your exam, both the exams are having a lot of time gap, but if they are not having a lot of gap between them, you can focus on the exam which you want to excel in. If you want to focus on NEET PG, you can solve NEET PG previous year questions and then try to judge what the topic examiner is focusing and try to get them only right. As far as my experience goes, NEET PG does not repeat questions, but it does repeat topics. So focus on topics. But the same thing goes with INICET. INICET repeats questions, but tries to fool us with topics. It tries it tries to ask us some deep things in preclinical subjects which we don't know. But lot of us forget that it has asked us some easy questions, like some easy 150 questions. So if we get those 150 right, we'll be getting a decent rank in that for those who are focusing for INICET. For those going to need focusing on NEET PG, I think focus on important topics and look at your previous year questions of NEET PG. You will be fine with that.
Were there any subjects that you found to be difficult, and how did you manage those subjects? Like some specific parts or the whole subject?
Okay, the subject which I hated the most was biochemistry. Irony.
You're
I
still
know it is.
you're still
I
working
was
in
working in.
biochem department.
I know, but it was because however, even though I revised it 4 or 5 times, I was forgetting the cycles, the whatever what like what enzyme is deficient in Krabbe's disease and all that. So it was very difficult for me to remember all that. But one thing I had kept in my mind, like at the end, biochem will have only 14 questions. So even if I get all of the 14 wrong, that is not possible. But still, even if I get all of the 14 wrong, I'll be getting those questions correct from other subjects. So somehow I can compensate it. I'll try to give my best to the subject and try to read it in detail. But at the end, a subject will have its limitation, will have limited number of questions. But the same is not true with big subjects like patho, pharmac, and
Mm.
phyto, pharmac, micro, medicine, surgery, and OBG. You have to read them in detail.
Mm.
If something is going wrong, you should. I think I focused more on solving questions.
Mm.
The I just now told that I could not remember the enzyme which is
Mm.
deficient in crabase. So
Mm.
the thing I used to do was I used to I used to write those enzymes and what their deficiency caused beside them, and I used a sticky note
Mm.
and I pasted it on the wall.
Mm.
Daily after getting up or daily while reading or while taking a break, I used to read that sticky note and then start, or I used
Mm.
to read that sticky note and then take a break. So by repeatedly looking at it, I remember that this like the volatile things in a subject. That's how you have to counter it. If
Mm.
you are facing some other subject which is volatile according to you, like look at it repeatedly, look at that
Mm.
topic repeatedly, and then it will become easy for you. Or
Mm.
try to solve more questions on that topic or on that subject, so it will become more and more easy, and you'll get to know only the thing which is going wrong in that
Mm.
subject, or only part of topic which is going wrong. You'll
Mm.
identify that and you will learn it.
So how was your strategy for the day of the exam? Like, were you tense, or how many questions had you thought of attempting in the paper? And did you like answer only the questions that you were sure of, or if you had confusion between two options, how would you eliminate options, and what was your approach for the exam?
On the day of exam, I was very anxious because I had got a center which was around 40 kilometers from my home. That was a big anxiety everyone was facing. I think everyone faces it because no, even though we had put a certain city as our examination center, many of us don't get that city.
Mm.
Many of us don't get the examination center which we desired, which was
Mm.
near to our home. So I think I need to tell my juniors that we shouldn't focus on what the examination center is. Just plan that you need to be there 2 hours before the exam. Like you should be there half an hour before the reporting time.
Mm.
Be there at that time, and to be safe, because in big cities you never know, you may get trapped in traffic, or if your exam is during these rains, you may get trapped somewhere on the road. So you should always be early to the examination center.
Mm.
And the thing is, everyone, even though I tell to be calm, everyone will be anxious, because the thing uh, uh, the thing about this exam is, even though we try to be calm, we'll be anxious because it will be deciding the next 3 years at least of our life, and also the next whole of our life, because it will be deciding where, in which subject or in which path we'll be going.
Mm.
So it is normal to be anxious, but you have to beat that anxiety. You have to keep it to a certain level that it will not affect your exam.
Mm.
It should not affect your exam because you have prepared for it. You have given your 1 year or 6 months to that exam, preparing that exam. You have studied when everyone or some of your friends were enjoying. So you should keep that thing in mind. You should focus that because you have worked hard, you just need to work hard one more day or 3 more hours to get it right. And if you like be calm and keep your anxiety to a minimum, that then you will be able to do well.
Mm.
And about the previous day, most of my juniors ask me what to revise on the previous day. I tell them there is nothing to be revised on the previous day. You should be revising some volatile things here or there, but you should focus on being in that time schedule, like which is according to your exam. If your
Mm.
exam is from 9 to 12, and if you have to get up the next day on the day of exam
Mm.
on 6 by 6:30 or 5:30, you should get up by 5:30 the previous day itself, or at least on that week, at least in that previous week you should be getting in the habit of getting up early.
Mm.
Because if you, like, if some people are studying in night, if they are night owls, they need to change that, and they need to change their whatever timetable, so that they'll be not be in a surprise for that day. You should be prepared that like like no one wants to have a surprise, that no one wants to have any unexpected occurring, that they'll get up late and they'll miss that exam. That is the worst thing that could happen. So I think you should change your timetable from the last week. Get up early, get up in the habit that you'll be getting up early, and be ready, and be in your most like most good space of mind, that you will be attempting your paper in that 9 to 12 zone. So you should be prepared for at least 1 week, and don't focus on revising everything on the previous day. You can't revise everything. Just look at your some volatile things, and that's it. Sleep early. No one will try to sleep early. No one will be able to sleep early on that day. So get to bed as early as possible, so that at least by 2 or 3 hours after thinking anxiously about exam, you can go to sleep. So that's what is important. And coming to the exam, look at each and every question properly. Don't be in a hurry. NEET PG gives you a lot of time, and you'll be getting around 210 minutes for 200 questions. So I think that is a lot of time. You'll be getting 10 minutes extra, and those 10 minutes, I think everyone after solving the number of GTs I've told you to solve, at least monthly GTs, even if you solve like at least 8 or 10 GTs, you'll be getting to know how much time you'll be taking for a question. So according to that, arrange your like as soon as you start your exam, be prepared that you have to finish your exam by 180 minutes or 170 minutes, so that you will be getting half an hour for reviewing whatever questions you have kept for review, or if you want to check them once again, if you have marked them once again, if you want to do that, you have to keep half an hour or at least 15 to 20 minutes extra. And about attempt number of attempting number of questions I attempted, I had kept in my mind that I'll attempt as much as possible, because I think the number of questions we attempt will tell how much good will tell the rank which we'll get. See, if you attempt only 150 questions, even if you get 150 right, you'll someone else would have attempted 190 questions and will be getting 170 right. He has got 20 wrong, but if you divide it by 4, he'll be getting only -5. So he'll be still much more ahead of you. So I think then if you attempt a large number of questions, only then a good rank is possible. Because if you restrict yourself to less than 180, then you will be missing out on a good rank, missing out on a rank which is less than 1,000. So it depends on the day of exam. It depends on the number of questions. It depends on how the exam is actually. If your exam is easy, then everybody is going to attempt more number of questions. So if you feel that the questions are easy, then go on, attempt more than 190 at least, so that because everyone is going to attempt more than 190, everyone is going to go big. So that's how you have to attempt. You have to decide on the basis of the exam. And about the number of questions which I got correct out of 199 which I attempted in NEET PG 22, I got 173 correct and 26 wrong. So if I had decided that I will attempt only 180, I would have got only 160 correct and 20 wrong. So I would be somewhere in like around 3,000 or 2,000. So that's why we should attempt more. Then only there is a chance that we'll get a good rank. So that's why I need to convey. And about INICT, INICT is like go home or go big. You have to attempt more. Only then you'll get a good rank. Or else, if you don't get a good rank, you'll not get a seat. That's how it is. So it's clean. It's clear there. If you want to get example medicine in colleges in INICT, you have to be within, I think, less than 150.
Mm.
You have to get a rank which is less than 150. Only then you will have a chance to get a you have a chance to get a medicine seat. So to get 150 as an all India rank, you have to attempt more than 180. Only then there is a chance that you will be better.
Mm.
So NICT is like that. You have to attempt as much as possible, and I think one or two questions more than the number of questions which you were able to attempt.
Mm.
But yes, you have to attempt more.
Mm.
And the way of eliminating, I think uh, what I think about elimination is if you can eliminate one option
Mm.
or two options,
Mm.
at least if you can eliminate one option also, you can go and answer that question, because there is 33% chance and all people
Mm.
tell, but yeah, there is a chance of you getting it right.
Mm.
See, if you get one question right, you will be getting 4 marks,
Mm.
and if you get one question wrong, you will be getting -1. So it's a win-win situation that you have to go and attempt that. And if you are able to eliminate two of the options, then you should be happy that you have a 50-50 chance of getting
Mm.
it right. So you should go and attempt that question. And about me, even I had such things while my exam also. I was confused at what to attempt. But you should always go with your instinct,
Mm.
because I think somewhere in our mind we have read that thing, because we have read it, or most of us have studied for a year. We have studied those 19 subjects. I know it is a lot of it, but our mind has captured those things. Somewhere it is there. So always trust whatever your instinct tells you,
Mm.
and
Mm.
answer that question with your instinct.
Mm.
Don't worry, even if you think that on deducing it, on getting key points from the question and all after looking at the diagram, your instinct is not coming up to the point, then it's okay. Go and answer in instinct, because you must have read it somewhere. Only then it is telling you the answer. So
Mm.
I think trust your instinct and answer that question with your instinct only.
Right. You have given like such an in-depth answer to almost all the questions. Like this, I think will be really helpful for anybody who's watching. It's like the best guide, or like it's like a brother who's telling you every single thing that they have experienced and how to like go about the whole journey. So thank you so much, Dr. Lochan, for sharing your journey to success, and like not just not just about the studying part, like how to get back when there are setbacks or when there are backlogs, when there is when everything is not going according to your plan. You have like explained everything to the max that is possible, and this was an amazing amazing experience, like talking to you about everything. And I'm pretty sure everybody who is watching this will also find it very, very helpful.